Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're reacting to hamnations. By the way, I don't recommend this for 13 ages. Let's go.
Hi, welcome to Bryson's Cooking Show. Today we are cooking cereal. First add cereal, then... But Bryson, what if I like pouring the milk first?
Yeah, this is why I don't recommend it for anyone.
As I was saying, first add cereal, then milk, and voila, we've got cereal. What? Wait, no.
The gates of hell open wide to receive thy soul. Now submit thyself to unending torment.
No, please, I'm a good boy. Oh no. Oh, please save me.
Honestly, if this happens on a regular, on Bryson's Cooking Show, what the heck?
Hi, I'm Bryson, and I once started a grease fire in my house. And believe it or not, this is not the first fire that the hamnations family has endured. Let me start at the beginning. Now, almost all these stories revolve around one sibling, the pyromaniac of the family, my oldest
Oh no.
brother Brody. Now, before I decimate my brother's reputation, slander his name permanently, and ensure that he's never allowed within 500 feet of a lighter ever again, let me just preface with this. I love you, Brody. Our journey begins when Brody was 3.
Go back.
I love you, Brody.
I feel like
Again, let me just preface with this. I love you, Brody.
I feel like
Our journey begins when Brody was 3 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. Except I wasn't even born yet. My family was visiting our grandparents and uncles, and my Uncle Mark decided to have some bonding time with Brody. It remains a mystery to this day what Uncle Mark was thinking, but he decided to teach Brody how to use a lighter and how to lock doors. 2 essential skills for any 3-year-old, obviously. In one fell swoop, this knowledge transformed Brody from a harmless toddler to a dangerous fire hazard capable of burning the house down. Brody put his knowledge to use immediately. He locked himself in Grandma's room, hid under the bed, and started melting the wax under there. The bottom of the bed began to burn, and the wax started melting down onto the carpet. The family smelled the smoke and ran around the house looking for Brody.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
But the door was locked. When they finally got in, they saw Brody with a lighter in hand, standing next to a burning bed. They put the fire out quickly as Brody watched. Even though I wasn't there, I can imagine Brody grinning to himself, because born inside him at that moment was a flame that would never go out. This was the beginning of a lifetime of pyromania. My parents were rightfully mad at Uncle Mark, and years later they got back at him. Uncle Mark's son was very young, and my parents were visiting. Hey, little guy, come here. I'm gonna teach you how to use a lighter.
No! No! No!
Skip it up and down.
Does your family have a pyromaniac, or are you normal?
My main goal is to blow up.
The next incident...
that reference. Y'all have to see what I mean by this reference. My main goal is to blow up.
Main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. Main goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
incident happened 1 year later. Brody was 4, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Except I was still not born yet. Mom was outside the house talking to a friend, and Brody was inside unattended. He decided that he wanted a hot dog. He had seen our parents use the microwave before and thought, Oh, I just need to put it in the microwave, hit a couple buttons, and hit start. So that's exactly what he did. But he unknowingly buttons and hit start. So that's exactly what he did. But he unknowingly set it to over an hour. A while later, Mom's friend noticed smoke coming out of the windows in the house. Mom ran inside in a panic and found Brody with his hot dog. I tried to make a hot dog, but all I got was a piece of poop. The hot dog was reduced to a flaming carbon crisp, burnt to the very core. And that's how my family house almost got burnt down by a hot dog. Then the next year, when Brody was 5, he got glasses. This time I remember it clearly. Except I still hadn't been born yet. Once again, he was left unattended in the kitchen. Brody found a lighter, sat on the counter, and began lighting it over and over. You know, for entertainment. Then he thought, I wonder if my glasses are fireproof. He slowly began to raise the lighter closer and closer to his face, and the lens cracked. Mom? What? What was that noise? Did you break your glass?
The glass didn't go into his eye.
Glasses? Yes. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, or fireberg. Brody in his teenage and adult life has regularly set paper towels on fire on the counter, started fires outside for no reason, and put tinfoil in the microwave. I'm not even joking. Hey Brody, what are you cooking?
Tween milestones may start at age 9. HPV vaccine.
And when Brody was 6, he had to be held on a leash whenever he would go out. Yeah, he was one of those kids. However, even the leash could not contain his chaotic nature because somehow, in one day, Brody set off a car alarm, an elevator alarm.
Okay. What is this next one gonna be? Is this next one? It's like a fire alarm or something?
And an airport alarm.
I knew it. It was gonna be a fire alarm. It was a fire alarm in an airplane. Like, go back and you see it's a fire alarm.
If you haven't figured it out, alarm, an elevator alarm, and an
Fire alarm.
airport alarm. If you haven't figured it out yet, let me just spell it out for you. Brody was a menace to society. He's still a menace, but his wife keeps him in check. Most of the time.
Let me spell it out for you. B-R-O-D-Y. Brody is a menace. Honestly.
Now, all these stories were about Brody, but this isn't Brody's channel. Now it's time to talk about how I started a fire. But at least it was an accident, unlike Brody who set stuff on fire on purpose. Also, all Brody's stories happened when I was just an unborn soul vibing in the quantum abyss. I kinda miss it. Anyway, on to my grease fire story. At this point, I had finally been born, and I was about to start a family recipe with my roommate Dallin. The chicken was defrosting and it was almost ready, so I put some oil in a pot and set the stove on low to heat up and be ready for the chicken. At least I thought I did, but I accidentally put the heat on maximum overdrive. Then I got distracted talking to Dallin and forgot all about the chicken.
Yes.
After a while, the room suddenly started filling with smoke. I wonder what that could be. We looked and saw a plume of smoke coming from the pot. As I ran over to try and fix my horrible mistake, the smoke caught fire and blazed forth an eerie orange glow. I saw into hell in that moment, and the face of Satan stared back at me. Then, for an excruciating couple seconds, I sat there frozen, wondering what to do. Have you heard the term fight or flight? Well, there's actually a third option, freeze. And my brain chose freeze.
In one of his videos, he says he got a smooth brain, and I can prove it. Guys, my brain is smooth. In one of his future videos, he calls himself dumb. I'm gonna react to that video so I can prove it.
Dallin saw that I was paralyzed and quickly jumped into action. He grabbed a bowl and carefully covered the pot and extinguished the flame. I was so embarrassed that my big, strong roommate had to save me. I very gingerly helped get rid of the smoke by opening the windows. I cooled and cleaned the pot and very carefully finished the recipe.
So good and tasty?
I also apologized profusely to Dallin, who insisted that it wasn't a big deal. I honestly can't properly explain how embarrassed and ashamed I was. I was just trying to be an adult and make a meal, and I almost burned my house down. But I learned a valuable lesson. The lesson is, have a roommate who's not afraid of fire. I will be more careful in the future, and hopefully next time I won't freeze. To end things off, I want to encourage you all to be careful and cautious when cooking, because you could literally die. Also, stay away from Brody or he will burn down your house. Fortunately, fire won't be an issue for me, because since my fire incident, I have mastered waterbending. And I've mastered firebending. Don't do this, Brody. Don't challenge me. It won't end well.
I like you wrestling because this is wrestling. And water puts out fire. And since water can also put out ice. Prediction. He's gonna use ice on his fist and he's gonna hit him. Hit him in the face on his that thing, and that's gonna finish him off. That prediction.
I'm sparing you, brother. I'm letting you go in the name of our past friendship. But I warn you, even a single step out of line will result in your permanent end. Whatever, this game sucks anyway. You're just mad because you lost. Maybe, but at least my house isn't on fire. Hi, thanks for watching. Wasn't that fight scene amazing? My team did a fantastic job animating it. Thanks to Rushlight Invader and Aroa for storyboarding it, and thanks to my brother Brody for making the music for the fight. His wife played the flute for it as well. Links for them and the rest of my amazing team are down below. If you want to support me and the team to keep making these videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Link below.
Okay, son, we're...
Donate plasma today and receive up to $700 your first month. CSL Plasma. Do the amazing.
When emergency strikes, first responders rely on the latest technology. That's why T-Mobile built T-Priority.
Welcome to our robot show. This cutting-edge robot can do amazing things. Observe.
Will they start a robot uprising?
No, we have several contingencies in place.
Do they like hugs?
What? Do they like hugs? What? die, human?
Wait. Not him.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and today I'm going to be talking about what I want the future to be like, and also more realistic futuristic ideas that scare me. Disclaimer, I am not a scientist, I am not smart, I barely graduated high school, and like every other YouTuber, I dropped out of college. So take this with a grain of salt. Ew. Let's start with the holy grail of science fiction ideas. Time travel.
Okay, I'm a YouTuber now. I'm not even in college. I'm not even in high school. I'm not even, well, I am in middle school, technically. I'm not even in high school, junior high, or stuff like that.
Imagine the discoveries. Dang, we were way off. But also, imagine if instead of taking an object through time, you take time through an object. Picture this. Oh no, I burnt my pizza. But if I put it in my time-powered uncooker, we can take the pizza back in time to when it wasn't burnt. I would love to have an uncooker, but then I realized an uncooker is also just an immortality machine. Just hop in and regain your youth. Just don't stay in too long, though. Hey, get out! Aw, look at the little baby.
I have lived 1,000 lifetimes. Your puny mind is nothing compared to my vast intellect.
Do you want some mushy carrots?
Yes, please.
Time travel would also allow for a whole new level of fun pranks. For example, if someone disagrees with me, I just go back in time to when they were a baby and press the soft spot in their head as hard as I can.
Yeah, Avatar The Last Airbender is a terrible show. Bad world building, stupid magic system, and dumb characters. Also, Uncle Iroh is the worst character.
Cool opinion. Excuse me for a moment.
Oh.
Classic prank, am I right? This next billion-dollar idea that I definitely made up is a portal gun. Imagine the possibilities. You could do the infinite fall thing, travel great distances, and put a portal on the moon. Ah! You'd have to be careful, though. If you had your arm in the portal and the portal closed, it would cut off your arm. That reminds me, cloning. Basically, it scares me and I don't like it. What? I've heard stories where people cloned their pet, but the pet just wasn't the same. It all makes me uncomfortable. I just would not want to see a clone of myself on the street. That's all I'm saying. Dude, what? I'm standing right here. I mean, have you heard of those identical twins? Freaks. Are you kidding me? I'm so glad I don't have a twin.
Oh, right.
I mean, what if he beats me up? But if this technology is coming whether I like it or not, I might as well embrace it. You sure this is safe? I don't know. Huh? It didn't work. Let me try again. Oh no, I hit the button too many times and overloaded the system. They're kind of cute. Well, regardless, they are failed clones, so we'll have to incinerate them.
Down professional. Its grease cutting suds last 2 times longer, so we can wash double the pots in just one sink.
Behold, a Boost Mobile Unlimited plan at a price that never goes up.
$25 a month forever. That's a great idea.
That was close. I think I lost him. So, back to the future. Wait, that's not what I meant. Universal Translator. It works on animals too. Don't ask me how it would work. I would love to have a conversation with intelligent animals. Excuse me, Mr. Orca, do you like living in SeaWorld?
Please stop capturing my kind and forcing us into a dependent relationship with humans to justify the inhumane conditions we live in. Set us free, please, I beg you. This is a nightmare.
Oh. Do you want to fish? Sorry, that got a little dark. let's lighten the mood by trying the translator on my dog, Bo.
Error, no thoughts detected.
Yeah, I thought so. Next idea, the Insta-Sleep Pillow. This would help people who have trouble falling asleep, but it would also make for a very fun and higher stakes pillow fight. And what about perpetual motion? I actually designed a working prototype that could provide free energy for all of us. Here's how it works.
Stop right there! Get on the ground, now! Not one more step! I will shoot!
Meh, it's probably fine. Although these futuristic devices are super awesome and I can't wait to have them, there are some inevitable inventions that will be invented in the next few years that I fear deeply. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. Robot uprising. Pretty common fear, but I take it to another level. My parents' house has a Google Home that can turn the lights on and off. When I was living there, before I went to bed, I would say please and thank you to the Google Home when turning off the lights, just in case. And I'm sure glad I did, because look how well off I am now. Artificial intelligence is pretty scary, but it's also useful, and that's why this script was written entirely by ChatGPT. Just kidding. The animation was made by AI, though. Does it look good? Yeah? Or what about genetic modification? There are possible good uses. It could be used to accelerate healing if someone's hurt. You could change your appearance like your eye or hair color. But I also think it could go too far. People could become uncannily...
Oh my gosh. If that was real, I'm definitely changing my eye color and my hair color. I'm definitely gonna make myself Sunjin Blue. I'm not gonna make myself like Sunjin Blue or something like a random anime character, and I don't know why.
Attractive, be stronger and healthier, and live longer. You could basically become a superhero. Would you like us to remove the no flying gene that was invented by Sir Isaac Newton, Mr. Bryson? Yes. It's a bird.
Shoot it down.
It's a balloon.
Shoot it down.
It's a blonde guy?
Shoot it down. Wait, what was that last one?
What scares me is that unfortunately genetic modification will probably lead to a whole new class divide. Get back to the test chamber, you lab rat!
I am objectively better than you in every way. You must be removed from the gene pool. Wait, what?
Also, what about this? A 3D printer that prints a 3D printer, which in turn produces a 3D printer, and then the world is taken over by 3D printers. Last but not least, living forever. What does that imply? You just get progressively older and older, but technology keeps you alive? Would you become a cyborg? Would you need to replace your face every 100 years with a new one? Would you eventually be entirely robot? That just doesn't sound fun. I don't want my body to become the ship of Theseus. However, eternal youth does sound fun. And I would like to live pretty long, but even with eternal youth, I think eventually I would like to pass away. Not right now, though. Later.
That sounds pretty dark, Bryson.
Hey, I didn't ask to be made.
Then die.
Wait, what? This is so sad. I will be missed, and I was very cool.
Wait, what?
In conclusion, technology is amazing, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Hopefully towards the helpful and fun side. Unfortunately, I can't build any of these inventions because I'm not exactly smart. But I can draw the inventions, and I can dream. No! Wait, what? Oh. I
command you to make a hole in that wall.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the new Grunt.